What's up? I'm Luke, and today I'm going to be starting a little walkthrough tutorial thing on the OPZ. I've been going through some tutorials online. I found that a lot of them kind of focus in on specific parts or don't give you the full picture of what's going on. So I wanted to do a thing where I go step by step through their user guide because I've been kind of doing that anyway, but now I'm going to do it with you. We're going to go on that journey together, starting from the very first, like, how do you turn it on thing, to using step components to do your laundry and control your LFOs. So let's get started. So here we are with the thing on the table with my hands. I'm gonna be following along with the guide. This is the guide by Teenage Engineering that they have, and we're gonna be going through it together. There is a link to the guide right here, and there's a printable version that I'm linking right here. There's also a Facebook group, and this Facebook group is super active, and that's right here. So check those out and come back when you want to, learn. Let's go first things first. So the first thing that the guide goes over is that there are 10 projects, 14 pattern chains per project, 10 mute groups per project. So that's a project. In the patterns, 16 patterns per project. And then in each pattern, you can use 16 tracks. And then in each of those tracks, each track is broken up into steps. So like these are 16 steps, these buttons here. You like punch in the steps or whatever. There's 16 of those per track, 14 step components that you can put in. That's these little guys. And then 24 ticks per step. So on each step, that's how many ticks you got in the clock. So let me just give you an example of what that means. So you hold down P, you get to see the projects. Right now I'm on project 10. It's project 1, project 2, project 3. This is project 10. Project 10 has, you can have 16 patterns. I have 4. This is just like a little pattern I was making yesterday. So let me select this pattern. This pattern has 10 mute groups. I have messed with, it looks like, 3 of them, 4 of them. They say which of these tracks you are muting. So right now I only have the kick track unmuted. If it's grayed out, then it's muted. So if I hit play, you're only going to hear the kick. And this is the track. See, on this track, there's 16 steps. I have it broken up so that it's going to tick twice on each step. You see that? That's why it's not just going 16 beats, it's going 32 beats. So this is a 2-bar loop. So this is the kick track. Let's go to the snare track. You hold down track, click snare. Now you're on the snare track. You see the components are put in, or you see the steps are put in, and this is 1 beat per step. You see that? Da, 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 da. But it's muted, so let me unmute the snare. Cool. Now let's add in some of the muted tracks. So this is adding the hi-hat and the chord track. Let's look at the chord track. It looks super jam-packed because there's dun, 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 and that's punched in, and that was punched in live and then quantized. Now let's unmute everything. So I got bass going now. I got this, sorry. I've got bass going now. Little samples. And I think that's the only other difference. So yeah. So that's like kind of a general overview of how it's broken up. Moving on. Track pattern, step buttons, record button. That's the record button. Transport buttons. Yeah, that's play, that's stop. There are these panic modes, which is actually pretty dope. So yeah, let's go through that together. So if I just hit stop, you hear that little echo of like the effects going like dun, dun, dun. So if I hit it twice, which means one will stop the playing, the next one will stop any active notes. So instead of playing do, 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 it just went do, do. And then Super Panic will cut any active notes, and it'll also cut any of the like effects that you have on. So it'll just cut all the sound. There it is. Got the musical keyboard. Yeah, so this is set up as a keyboard. It's pretty cool. You got the black keys and the white keys. So if I switch over to like chord, it's like a little, keyboard there. So that's fun. You got 2 octaves. I wish there was another button like over here or something so that you could play the first note of the 3rd octave there. Boom, boom, bing. I want that bing. Give me that bing. I want a bing. But alas, transpose buttons. Oh yeah, so that gives this will give me the bing. There's my bing. Good timing. Transpose. Change octave. I just showed you that. You press plus to go up. That's as high as it goes. And if you noticed, you see the numbers go up. Where were we? Here we are, but where were we? So my phone ran out of space and my table was all smudgy. So I took care of both of those things and I took a shower. Oh, here's a thing. This is about to die. And how do you know it's about to die, Luke? Well, this is how you do it. You hold this button and it shows you the battery and it shows you green all the way up to the camera if it's full. And right now I'm only at the hi-hat track. So I've got a hi-hat track's worth of battery. So here we go. So offset track. If I'm here, this is the chord track still. You can see because it shines white when I hold track. So if I do that and then press minus or plus, it will shift the notes. So let's shift the notes forward 2 steps. And now let's see. Hear that? Hear how jacked that is? I kind of wish that it would shift just the amount of steps per beat. This I have 2 beats per step, but when you do this, it's shifting a whole step, right? So it's shifting the 2 beats instead of per step increment. That's kind of unintuitive, I think. Offset steps and micro timing. Let me show you on the snare track because that's pretty easy to see and it'll be easy to hear too. So right now, this track is fully quantized to the beat because I just did that. You can hear. If I hold on the button, anytime in the tutorial or in the thing, it says kick to camera. That's this button to this button. So it's talking about the step buttons when it shows this. This is step buttons. if I hold the step button and go minus, 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 it'll shift the note halfway that way. If I hit plus, 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 it'll shift it that way, and there's feedback. So let me show you. If I shift it like that, it starts flashing purple there, so I know it's early. And let me turn on the metronome so you can hear. Oh, oops, let me unquantize. There you go, see? So now it's late. So if you have things that are way late or way early, and then you quantize. So hold track, this is the quantize amount while you're holding track. Cool. The shift button, if you press shift, you switch the parameter page. So this is the white parameter page. You press it again, you have the green one, then purple, and then yellow. So the white one is kind of different for all the tracks. The green one is a attack, decay, sustain, release type of envelope thing, and that's pretty consistent throughout. Also pretty consistent, except for like the arpeggiator, is the purple one, which it does like LFO controls. And then this is like effect send 1, effect send 2, pan left, right, and then volume of the track. And then you're back to the whitey. Here it says add punch in effects. If you hold shift while you're doing stuff, you can add little punch in effects. So let's test that out with the snare here. Actually, let me turn this off and let's switch to the hi-hats and do punch in effects on the hi-hat. So that's always fun to mess around with. And it sounds a lot different when you do stuff like if I go to the chord track and start messing around. Yeah, that's fun. And you can record those too, which is a whole nother thing. But that's for a later day. What's that? Pro tip, yeah. If you hold shift and change a parameter, it'll change it temporarily, but it won't save it. So that's a good thing for like, if you want to make a tweak to the sound, but you don't want to save it, you just kind of want to hear what it would sound like. So let me give you an example. I'll turn the effect send 1 up on the chord track. So I've got a delay on here. I'll turn it way up while I'm holding shift, and then when I release shift, in a second, it'll go back to the way it was. So it's all delay. Now it's back to normal. Works with everything. It's like a weird springy thing. Let's change the like. Now the sustain is way up. And now it's back to normal. Cool, so that's fun. Fun for experimenting. Pitch bend. Pitch bend. This little guy on the bottom. So you press up and it shows you in green. It shows green if you're all the way up the half step, or green if you're all the way down the half step. And then I'm pretty sure there's no way to record that, which kind of stinks. Like, what if you want to record your pitch bend? Well, you can't. If anybody knows how to record pitch bend, please leave a comment, because that would be nice. The microphone, so there's a microphone on the thing. If you hold it up like this, see it's green, that means it's in mic mode. which means I can play and put stuff in, but I can't change any parameters. So when you're in mic mode, like a lot of this changes and you can't do as much. Green means mic mode. You press this button here and it goes to not record. I wish you could record your voice or sample into this, but you can't. It's just kind of for like live talking. So like, that's my voice. So I don't know what mic mode is for. I guess it's kind of like for some kind of person who, where you're like performing and then you're like, hey, oh yeah. You talk to your massive crowd of people that are listening to your OPZ set and you use your microphone to do that. But I feel like most people will have another microphone. I don't know. If I want to see one thing added, it's like the ability to sample in and save into one of the track slots. Like if I have like these samples, like I've got these open sample slots that I haven't put stuff in. I've put some stuff in these, like some little like lo-fi kick and lo-fi snares. But I want to be able to like press 6, record in some stuff and chop it, just like the pocket operators. If you guys are familiar with the pocket operators, something that works similarly to the PO33, where you kind of, it chops it up and then you can kind of move where you're at in the sample per step, and you could kind of do it the same way as the like holding on like one of these, and then you would like move the marker. That would be kind of fun for on-the-go sampling. And then speaker. There's a speaker on it, and it's right there. And if you're not plugged in, that's where you hear it. Yeah. Next will be general operation. But this was kind of a long intro. I didn't want it to be that long, but I just wanted to give you an overview, and for people that are new to knowing what this does, just kind of to give you the general feel of what the thing can do. But I didn't even scratch the surface. So see you in the next one.